Well, hello once again. It's late at night. I'm back from the auction that I mentioned in the last video. Didn't buy a single thing. The daughter bought a couple of things, but I didn't want to buy everybody else's total scrap junk. It was stuff that should have been thrown in the trash, not sold at an auction. But there were people out there buying that crap. I said, no. That's just too much junk. I mean, it was just this horrendous junk. That's how bad it was. Anyway, the whole time I was there, it didn't matter anyway, because I kept thinking about this aluminum strip I put on that has those little copper things under it. It kept wearing on my mind and wearing on my mind the entire time I was there. I mean, I had fun. We went out for a pizza afterwards, and it was good to spend the afternoon with the daughter. And as soon as I got home, I said, man, I have got to get back in here and tear this apart and try something different. So let me take the top back, this aluminum bar back off, clean out some of that grease, wipe off some of the grease off those copper things, and let's try it a different way. Though I know that some of you smart jukebox guys have been working on these things for years, we're probably asking yourselves, why couldn't he figure this out? It's not that difficult. And I don't think it is now that I've given it. You know, it's one of those deals that just sort of pops into your head. No, you didn't do it right. Let's try it. Now, we still have to put those brass fittings in there. But in order to get them in there, we have to put them in here first. And instead of aligning them with, let me zoom in here. Instead of aligning the center, let me get that thing to roll around there. Instead of aligning this center gap with that center pin, we have to go over a little bit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. These things are not supposed to press against these two center. They're supposed to go in that slot between the middle. That's the way I see this. Now that I've thought about it at an auction. So I'll tell you what, I think the best way to do is just turn this whole thing around. Hang on. Alright, that's a little better. Instead of having these copper things, as I said, lined up on this center pin, I think we're supposed to put them between these things right here. So let's see what happens if I, now remember, we have one side flat and one side round. And I think the flat side goes down in there like that. I think it goes like that. Or at least, which means these things have to be brought forward all the way. And then they slide down in there like that. But even that doesn't make a lot of sense. God, I don't know. We're going to try it. We're going to put them all in there like that, in each of these slots behind the keys, or the push buttons all the way down. We're going to do that on both sides and then button it up and see if we get a little better response out of these buttons. I've got them fit in the slots all the way down. Now that makes a whole lot more sense to me, and I'll tell you what, there's one left over, and that's in a very short slot. So that's why they had to cut these things and in half, because they needed to have a half of one that fit in that slot like that. And that's why they left the space behind these push buttons. Now right there I need another half of one, and I just don't have one for right there. I don't know what we're going to do about that. Let me show you in the camera here. I don't know what we're going to do about that one. There is missing. I don't know. But anyway, I'm almost certain that's the way they go. So we'll go ahead and set up the other ones the same way over here. Move them from the bar down into those slots between the keys. And put, flip the bar over and put it back on and see what happens. Tell you what, in case you missed it the first time, we're going to show you again. First thing you do is you pull the keys forward and create the needed space back here. If the keys are all the way to the rear, that's what was messing me up. There was no space there because I had the keys too far back. So let's move these keys forward and create that space back there on each side of these little chrome things. Then we just take this, turn it around, put the flat side against this chrome here, the round side against the plastic key. Just like that. Alright, I'm going to do that all the way down. Remember, move your keys forward, create the space you need. Well, there we go, folks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two 2x4s. I'm going to put this thing back up on the 2x4s so the buttons hang loose. And this time the buttons should just bounce up and down completely loose all the way along, just like they did when I first took this entire unit out of the jukebox. Let's get them up on the boards. Alright, she's up. Now, remember, last time I went like that up underneath and those keys just bounced up and down. If it doesn't do it this time, I'm the heck with it. It's late at night, I'm going to bed. Here we go. You're seeing it for the first time just like me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it wasn't doing that before. Let's try this side. Oh my goodness. Look at there. Look at there. I don't know why I didn't figure that out the first time. I knew I didn't have it right. I just knew. Well, guess what? You know what this proves? I'll tell you what this proves. It sometimes pays you to go to an auction.